The Democratic Alliance says it believes it has done enough to fight to retain its position as the governing party in the city of Tshwane. The party ran the city through a rocky coalition government which saw the dissolution of the council and the city placed under administration. With 97% of the votes captured in Tshwane, the DA stands at 32%, second to the ANC, which stands at 34.5%. Let's cross over now to our reporter Patricia Visagie, who's in Hammanskraal. Good afternoon, Patricia. What's the scene on your end?
Good afternoon, and of course to our viewers as well. We are in Hammanskraal, and this is Ward 76. And the story of Hammanskraal, I think, is known countrywide at this point. And the heart of it is the water crisis. The water crisis that has been plaguing this community and really stripping them of their dignity for years now. And over the past 5 years, the people of Hammanskraal were hoping that the water challenges in this particular area would be resolved, and of course nothing came of it. In fact, the situation worsened so much that we also saw the shocking reports that came out from various organizations, one of them being the Human Rights Commission that wrote about the toxic levels of the water in Hammanskraal that is really just not fit for human consumption. And now, as we are standing just after the elections, the people in this area are hoping to see change as Tshwane gears up to usher in a new administration in days or perhaps weeks to come. Many of them again saying that they hope the water crisis would be a priority. We came to one of the areas in this particular. Now, we are in deep rural Hammanskraal. We're at one of the royal houses. This is where many community members come and lay bare their frustrations, their complaints. They bring them to the royal house, hoping the royal house can actually carry their frustrations to the Tshwane administration, and there a solution can be found. And we've heard the complaints from the royal house saying that in the last 5 years, there has been an extreme poor relationship between the Tshwane administration and, of course, this particular royal house. And the royal house was, left almost embarrassed, where they could not give answers to the community, and they really could not help many people. Now, this particular ward belongs to the ANC. The ANC has been in charge of it in the last 5 years, and they seem to have won it again. So I want to speak to the spokesperson for the Royal House, Mr. Tshwane. Thank you so much for joining us. We have spoken to you before. You have told us about the frustrations, the water crisis, of course, being at the top of the agenda. But service delivery in general for the people of Hammanskraal was extremely poor. And now, as we are standing at the doorstep of another administration that will soon be ushered in, you have a string of demands. Please just share those with us.
Yes, in our area, it's been a very long-standing problem, Hammanskraal water crisis. It's at the top of the agenda. Our people are frustrated. They actually vent out their frustration into this office because it is their administration that they know that they can come and relate to. Now we have engaged Tshwane on a number of occasions regarding this impasse. However, we haven't really reached any agreement. They would come with stories on a number of occasions, but the water remains dirty. The water remains polluted. Even as you can see, we have a borehole at the royal house. This is the royal precinct. This is our royal offices that we resort to it. We feel it's even much more healthier and cleaner than the water that is acquired from the taps from Tshwane, what you call reservoirs. It's not only water. We have a problem as far as the entire service delivery is concerned. Our people, there are no sanitation. We have no running toilets. We depend on pit latrines, which on their own they in a way pollute also the underground as well, the underground water that is acquired in that regard. We have been promised on numerous occasions. Our people don't even have housing. They come and cry and complain. We have got a lot of families which are really destitute. Basically, our area is downtrodden and our people don't have jobs. On the 21st of the previous month, it was on Thursday, Premier Makura was in the office here of Nkosi K.C. Kekana. I gave him a whole entire historical background, a very detailed one, of how this land was acquired. It was bought by our forefathers. And in this regard, come the era in 1916, we couldn't be given our title deed, which was issued then. It was entrusted in the hands of the then minister called Louis Botha of the erstwhile apartheid regime. Come 1994, where we thought with the new dispensation and our own government, we are still landless, we are still without our title deed, which we have been promised. We have been approaching the office of the minister. Up to date, we are remaining only with promises. Now, on the 29th, which was the previous Friday, we were at Mandela Hall with the Premier again, as he promised to come along with the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Minister Senzo Mchunu. He did that. We were at the hall where I also reiterated that they promised wholly, including portions which were proclaimed by Ngope, usurping them from us, like Babelech, which is the portion 9, and the entire of Kurut Temba location, which he proclaimed to be Kudube. Yes, as we are, that's the problems that we are having.
Just another one. We've seen the power clash. The DA was, running Tshwane, but this particular ward was in the hands of the ANC. Did that not create even more problems? You have another political party that's running the city, but the other one is running the ground.
Yes. What happens administratively, Tshwane has been in charge of the entire 9 wards in Region 2, including the rest of Tshwane, including the rest of all the regions in Tshwane. However, there's been a number of clashes within various political parties. EFF itself, who came on board also to raise the plight and frustrations of our people. ANC has been very vocal itself, including DA, as we approached it, which kept on promising that it will remedy the malady that we have here, the situation. But even up to date, nothing has been forthcoming.
As the people of Hammanskraal, you are one of the far-flung townships in the capital city. Do you seldom or often feel forgotten? Because when we speak to people, we get that sense where people of Hammanskraal say that it seems like people forget about us because we are so far away from everything. It's like you only exist when they need you.
Absolutely, that's correct. For your information, from this office, we have a seat in the City of Tshwane. But for some reason, we are not given the opportunity to even voice out our concerns. We go there, the status that we have been given is that one of observers. We cannot continue to become observers. We want to exactly voice out our concerns, our grievances in this regard. And our communities, they are equally livid about element of being forgotten, not being taken seriously, simply because we are at a predominantly traditional rural village.
All right, we'll have to leave it at there. Thank you so much there. Of course, one of the royal houses saying that they want to be recognized. And in this new administration that will be taking over the reins in Tshwane, they want to have a seat at the main table. And this for the interest, or in the interest of the people in Hammanskraal, because this is where the majority of people bring their cries, bring their frustrations. And the royal house normally knows exactly what the needs are of the people of Hammanskraal. Just there you can see a bunch of youth that are busy with, just extramural activity. They come here for counseling. They come here to get advice on a daily basis on how to run their lives. Many of them saying they didn't vote, others saying that they did vote. So Hammanskraal was one of the areas where there was really a very low voter turnout as people were boycotting the polls. So, of course, we will have to monitor how things pan out here. For now, let's toss it back to studio.